Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic, and another puzzle by Xenonetics today, who, well, I mean, I say another puzzle as though that's something that we do regularly. We haven't seen Xenonetics on the channel for a while, I believe, but always a very entertaining constructor who trades on certain curiosities, as far as I remember. Anyway, we'll see if that bears any fruit today. The puzzle is called Another Mathematical Phenomenon. So I feel like I've got a good chance of that being true. Anyway, there is half a day left to complete your entry to the Extra Byte by Skunkworks Patreon Sudoku hunt. Well, I say Sudoku, it's all 5x5 puzzles, so they're more Latin squares than Sudokus. You could still do it, even though there are 68 puzzles. Some of them are quite quick to do. Do check it out. If you're with us on Patreon, join us on Patreon if you're not. And you can have a go at, well, you can look at the solves of these incredible listener crosswords, Listen by X, Spider by Saver. You can see the connections videos as well. So there's loads going on. The links under the video will also take you to SVEN'S Sudoku Pad. And of course, there are all of our apps which do feature sandwich Sudoku, which is apparently relevant to today's puzzle. Although it doesn't look like a normal sandwich Sudoku to me, but that was our first ever app. We've had many since then. The most recent big one was Fog of War. The worms have come out since then, 4 of them, including from Phistomefel and Michael Lefkowitz. Do check those out. They're great fun. Great to practice your Sudoku skills on. And there's one more coming soon. Anyway, we'll tell you more about that when it's ready. Let's have a look at the rules to Another Mathematical Phenomenon by Xenonetics. And, well, normal Sudoku rules apply within the 9x9 grid. So within this grid, 1 to 9 will go in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box. Outside clues are sandwich clues, indicating the sum of the cells between the lowest and highest value, usually 1 and 9, seen in their row or column. Well, for all of these sandwich clues and these ones, that usually applies because Sudoku rules determine that 1 is the lowest value in this row and 9 the highest. So we must be talking about this when we're saying the unusual case. In fact, here we go. Row 0, column 0 applies this to each of row 0 and column 0 individually. Gosh. What is this dark yellow row 0, column 0 going to be? Apart from the value 0, every sandwich clue is unique. Gosh, so all of these will be unique values if they aren't 0. Okay, I mean, I'm trying to get my head around this. It's a little bit alarming at the moment, but let's see. Let's see where we go. If multiple instances of 0, oh no, hang on, I've missed. Cells across white dots contain consecutive values and cells across black dots contain one value double the other, 1:2 ratios. Okay, that's normal enough. If multiple instances of 0 are seen by row 0, column 0's clue, which one is lowest is to be determined by the solver. Okay, so I'm guessing that in one of this, at least in row 0 or column 0, this is row 1 of the puzzle, so this is row 0, by the way, this is column 0. I'm guessing in at least one case it's going to see more than 1 0, and the solver just has to determine which one counts for the calculation of the value of the digits or the value of the numbers between it. I mean, it's weird, isn't it? I'm really looking forward to grappling with this, but I think it might take a long while. Let's restart the clock. You can try it on that first link under the video. I'm going to start now. Let's get cracking. So surely this has to be all about this black dot sequence. Now, let's not forget that this could be all zeros. I mean, I presume it's fair to say one of those is double the other. Now, if this was all zeros, I just want to eliminate that first of all. This digit would be a 1 on the dot. This would be a 9, so that we'd have a 0 sandwich clue here. In these 3 rows, we'd have sandwich clues of 0 for all of them. I think that, no, that is not doable. That is not doable. For this odd reason. Oh no, it is doable. You could have 1 and 9 there, 1 and 9 there, 1 and 9 there. There's no odd reason. Okay, well, let's keep working on the idea that all of these are zeros. This, oh no, there must come a problem. If you have, yeah, 0 would have to be the difference in the column and row. 0 would have to be the difference between the highest number and the lowest number, which would be another 0. But there must be a number that is not 0 in this column and row. There must be in each of them, because in some case you're going to have a 1 and 9 in the top row that can't both be matched by a 1 and 9 below. I mean, I suppose you could have that. Well, yeah, I mean, you nearly could have 0 everywhere, but you'd have to have these little 2 by 2s of 1s and 9s throughout the grid, and the grid won't quite divide into lots of 2 by 2s because it's got an odd number of rows. Okay, I mean, that is almost certainly the world's most convoluted and insane way of proving that this isn't a 0 and therefore all of these aren't zeros. But I think it's an essential step, and I've done it. That's good enough. Now, the exciting thing about that is that these digits are therefore all positive integers or numbers. Yeah, I mean, a 2-digit number can be an integer, can't it? So, okay, I've got something else more interesting still. The number 1 cannot be a sandwich clue ever, because in a row where one, or not in the regular 9 by 9 grid, maybe it could be here, although I don't think so. In the regular 9 by 9 grid, if you were to sandwich something adding up to 1 between the 1 and the 9, it would be another 1, and that would break Sudoku rules. So you can't have a 1. So I think this set of, also you can't have a 1 here, because that would require you to be able to have a 1 here somewhere. Gosh, I mean, okay, that is definitely true. Therefore, none of these digits are a 1. And the minimum value for this string of digits is 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64. And in that sequence, the 64 cannot go to a row in the grid because the maximum sandwich clue ever possible is 35. If you put the 1 and 9 on the extreme ends, you take that 10, the 1 plus 9, from the sum of the row, that's always 45 by the secret that we share with you, because it's the sum of the digits 1 to 9. The digits that would go in between would add up to 35. 35 is the maximum sandwich clue, except in this cell. And I'm going to allege that this is almost certainly a sequence of 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64. But I have to bear in mind that it could go the other way. It could go, oh no, I've had an important thought. And that is that you don't keep having to have, oh, well, hang on. Every sandwich clue is unique apart from the value 0. So, okay, that is true. You can't bounce up 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 16, because 16 wouldn't be unique then. Right. So this is either an ascending or a descending sequence. Now, if it starts at 2, then I've got the direction right and the right starting digit. It might start at 3, so let's calculate that. 3, 6, 12, 24, 48, too high for a row. 96. Bizarre, but possible, I suppose. So I think we can write in 2, 4, 8, 16. I'm going to write it like that. 32, and this is 64. I don't know exactly what form of digit here the solution check will require. What I do know is we've got 32, which is very near the maximum sandwich sum here. We've got 2, which is the minimum apart from 0. We've got 64 here, which means that in this column, the numbers between the highest number, which might be 32, and the lowest number, which might be a 0 somewhere, will add up to 64, which is a very high number. Now, I don't think 32 can be in the sum, because it's the clues sandwiched in, so it can't. Okay, this is quite important. 64 is, okay, 2. I've thought more things here. 0 can't be on the white dot because the other digit would be a 1, and 1 is not possible. 0 can't be on the black dot because that would put a 0 on the white dot, and we just said that's not possible. 0 could be here. I think it's going to have to be here because if 2 was the lowest digit in the column and its only opposition can be 1 or 0, then you'd only be adding 3 cells to get to 64. Oh, maybe you could add these 3. And if this, but then this couldn't be more than, oh, these digits, they've got counterparts in the grid. This one can't be more than 9, so it can't be the high digit in the column because of the white dot to a digit in the grid. So this can't be the high digit. It could be 0. I think it is 0 because we've worked out you can't put 0 there. If all of these were positive digits, you can't repeat a 2. You can't have a 1. 2 would be the lowest digit in the column. If 32 was the highest, we'd be adding those. That doesn't add up to 64. If this is the highest, it can't be because it can't be more than 9. We can't just add 2 cells to get to 64, can we? Now I'm suddenly worrying. No, we can't add 2 white cells. Oh, you can't add 2 white cells to get to 2 cells joined by a white dot to get to 64 because they come to an odd number. One of these is odd and one of them is even. These 2, if you add them together, they're divisible by 3 because one is double the other. You call one of them x, the other one 2x. Total is 3x. So they can't be a total of 64. They can't be a total of 64. This can't be the highest, so we're not looking at a total of 64 there. So this now can't be, I think 32 probably has to be the highest, but we have to have a lower digit than 2 in the column, and it has to be down at the bottom, and it has to be 0. And we get a 1 in the grid from the white dot. Now, we can't make up 64 there with the highest digit here. So this is the highest digit. We're going to add all of these up. I don't think any of these, oh, hang on, that could be 0. Except that would leave this as 1 and this as 2. Oh, we can't have a 1. Nonsense. I've said you can't have 0 on a white dot. So we're going to add up all of these to get to 64. Now, we must be able to do some maths. We've already got 20, 30 there. So these 3 add up to 34. We know that the total of those 2 is odd. We're getting to a total of 34 from these 3 green digits. So if the total of those 2 is odd, that one is odd as well. So this is an odd total, an odd number here. And it has a counterpart, a black digit counterpart here, which must be double the odd number. You can't halve the odd number, you'd have a digit with a half in it. So this is an even number, and this is odd. Do a bit of colouring to just tell myself about that. And this digit is going to be doubled to here. And then This is odd. Right. This digit can't be more than 18 because of this digit in the grid, which can't be more than 9. So this digit then, which is half of that, can't be more than 9. So what would happen if this was 9 and that was 18? That's 27. This would have to be a 7. The white dot completely fails. Let's try each of the possible odd digits below 9. If that was 7, this is 14. That's 21. This would be 13. That's exactly the right total. So that's almost certainly what is happening here. If this was 5, that would be 10. This would have to be 19 to get the greens to add to 34. So we know what they are. This is 7. This is 14. And this is 13. And now we've got the total right. 64 is the sum of all of those. This digit's a 7. Wow. I mean, this is a mathematical phenomenon. It's great to be able to do this as maths. That's a 3 or a 5 on the white dot. Now, I'm going to look at these black dots, and what I'm suddenly going to remember as I look at them is this rule that all the sandwich values apart from 0 are unique. So, I'm now tempted to think these are 4 zeros. If they're not, they're other digits that we haven't, other numbers that we haven't used here. They could be 3, 6, 9, 12, I suppose. Wow, I don't, oh, hang on a second. Hang on a moment. We've got a 32 clue in this row. Right, to sandwich 32, plus the 2 crusts, the 1 and the 9, adds up to 42. The remaining digits in the row add up to 3, the outies. And they can't be a 1 and a 2 because 1 is a crust. So the outie in this row is a 3. And it is either sitting there or there. And the other possible digits in these cells are 1 or 9, because if it's not a 3, it's a crust. Right, we've got a 1 looking at that cell. So this one is a 3 or a 9. If it's a 3, this digit is 1 or 9. So what do we know? My 4 zeros here, are they in play? Is this possible? I don't know. I'm going to colour the grid when I know cells are not in sandwiches, or are not crusts, they're in green. When I know they are crusts, they're red. That is what I like to do. Oh, we've got this 0 in the bottom row, so that digit is the 9 to make the 0 work. And all of these are green because we've had the 2 red cells for the row and the box. And now this is not a 0 on the black dot. And that is crucial. Now these are not 4 zeros. They are, well, they're probably 3, 6, 12, 24. Haven't used any of those values here. Could they be anything bigger? They can't use 4 because we used that. Could they be 5? Oh, 5, 10, 20. No, 40 is too many. 35 is the max. So they are 3, 6, 12, and 24 in one order or the other. I don't really know how to mark that, but using kind of this technique here, you have to imagine that one of these is 3 and the other one is 24. One of these is 6 and the other one is 12. And I'm just going to keep in my head that that's what those values are. Now, we've also got this 64 sum in row 1. Oh, hang on. This can't be the 3 looking down there, because you can't put 3 in the sandwich here, because 3 is, just like 3 was always going to be 1 outie here, it's always 1 innie here. So since we can't put a 1 there, this is not the 3 place. That is the 24. This is the 12. This one is 6 and this one is 3. We've got other sandwich clues in now. Right. Now I'm wondering if 3 can't be the lowest for the same sort of Yeah, well, it's interesting actually. Is 3 the lowest digit in this row? You could bear in mind that we haven't yet investigated where multiple instances of 0 are seen by that. But that might be a red herring, brilliantly left in by Xenonetics. So we have to eliminate the possibility of 3 being the lowest thing in this row. And then either those 3 cells could add up to 64, or these, or these 2 or 3. It couldn't be those 2, because for any sandwich to come up to around 32, you only have one outie. I don't know, maybe 32 and 33 there, 31 and 33 there, outies of 2 and 4. Okay, I don't really know yet. Okay, I'm going to try and get other stuff done. So let's use this 24 clue. That's got to be at least 4 cells of sandwich. Also, there have got to be at least 2 outies adding up to 11 in this column, because you can always find the outies by deducting the sandwich sum from 35. Now, in this column, we've got a sandwich of 12. Don't know. In this one, 6, which is either 1 or 2 cells, and in this one 3, which is definitely 1 cell. Okay, 32. This digit is not a 1 or a 9, because we've just discovered that in column 2. Therefore, this is a crust and is a 9. This is the other crust and is a 1 in the row, and this is the outie, which is a 3. And that's 3 in the corner. That's 3 in the spotlight, losing its religion. Oh, look, we know the sandwich sum for column 1, because the 9 and the 1 are in the perimeter. It's 35. That is going to be the highest number amongst these. It's got to be, and it's not going to get repeated. So these are part of the addition towards 64, and we have to have a lower number than 3, which is going to be a 0 somewhere. We can't repeat 2, and we can't have a 1. 36, 42, 45. I did that before. We've got another 19 to find, either in 1 cell, 2 cells, or 3 cells, followed by a 0 that might include a 0. That's weird. Anyway, we've got a 16 sum sandwich in this row, which has to be at least 3 cells, because 8 plus 7, the biggest digits you can put in a sandwich, only add to 15. If it's got to be at least 3 cells, that one is in the sandwich and goes green. We've got a 12 sandwich in column 3. That requires at least 2 cells of sandwich, and the furthest apart we could put the crusts are there. This cell is in the sandwich. One of the crusts is up here and is going to have to be a 1 because we've had 9 in the box. And now this digit is not a crust, because the 2 crusts in the box are there and there. And this is the only place left for a crust in column 2, and that digit is a 1. And we have a sandwich sum of 4 in this row, which has to be a single digit 4. In it goes. Now I can green these cells. Now there's a 9 in one of these 2. There's a 6 sandwich in this column, so those are definitely green. And this one is too far away to be a crust, so that's green. Okay, we're moving along nicely. Now, the 16 sandwich in row 2 is going to use 1 crust on this side of the green and 1 crust on this side. The crust on this side is going to be a 9 and is going to use up the second crust for box 3, so these are all green. And now this cell is going to have to be a crust in this row, otherwise those 2 would be crusts next to each other, not giving a sandwich of 8. So that is the 1. This one is green. The 9 in this row is in one of those 2. I don't know whether the 8 is 1 cell or 2. The 1 in box 2 is going to be in one of those cells. Now we've got this 12 sandwich here, so we can write in 8 and 9 and do the colouring appropriate to that. Now we've got a 13 sandwich here, which is either 2 or 3 cells. I think 4 is too many. So the crust can't be here or here. 4 sandwich cells would be at least 2, 3, 4, 5 equals 14. We've got a 14 sandwich in this row and a 7 sandwich in this row. Annoyingly, the 14 sandwich in this row could only be 2 cells. We've got this 6 sandwich in this column. I don't know whether that's a 2-4 pair there or a 6 here. So I don't know. This column actually is very revealing now because we have this 3 sandwich, which is 1 cell. Well, you can't put both crusts here. You can't put them both here. So you're going to have to stretch across one of these cells and hit this as a crust, and that is a 1. And that really is useful. Now in this row, we know exactly where the sandwich is and what it is. We can fill in that and the crust. These digits C1 and 9, that one must be a crust. We get a 0 sandwich clue. I'll look into that soon. This 1 has decided where 1 is in box 2. I was going to say that probably decides where 9 is, but I don't think it does. One of these 2 is the 3 sandwich, and one of these 2 is the 9 crust. That one's green. Still don't know about this 7 sandwich. That's green because it sees a 1 and a 9. Only one of these can be a crust because of the 14 sandwich clue in this row. So this is the other crust in the box. And that is therefore green, but again, I still don't know if the sandwich in this row is 1 or 2 cells. Oh, I could green all of those things and remove the digits. There we go. We need a 1 in one of those 2 cells by Sudoku. Oh, we know what this is. This is a 6 from this column. And therefore, in this row, we know how to complete the sandwich. This is working beautifully. In this column now, that can't be the sandwich. We can put in the sandwich and the crust. That's green. Oh, I still don't know which. Oh, yes, this sees a 1 and a 9 in this. One in the column, 9 in the row. So that's green. This is crust. This, I was going to say this is green, but I still don't know that. Oh, that's quite interesting. That's a 1. One of these is a 9. Right. I think that could be a 9 and that could be a 9. And then these clues would all be 0. And that would therefore have to add up to the 19 that's missing and make this sandwich 19. That does seem possible. But the alternative is that that's a 9 and that's a 9. And these are reasonably big numbers then. That would be at least 17. This one would be, I think, at least 24. Maybe even higher. Well, this would bust the 19. You couldn't keep this down to 19 because 5 cells at least add up to 20 in a sandwich. So we're not counting this column unless it's 0 in the sum. We are counting this one only. And this must be 19. That's so strange. Maybe that's the mathematical phenomenon. So I don't know what these are going to be. I can't place my 9s yet. But I do know that whichever way it falls out, we might as well count this 0. Because this is either too high to be in the sandwich or not in the sandwich because that's the crust in this row. Oh, I should have coloured my crusts maybe in column 0. Didn't think of that. And that's one of them in row 0. That's weird. Right. Now let's do some Sudoku. Oh, let's check how we're getting on with all of the sandwiches. These add up to 19. 8, 7. Oh no. I mean, there's quite some range. Okay, I'll come back to that. We've done the 3, we've done the 6, we've done the 12. We've done this 35 effectively because whatever we put in there will add up to 35. This adds up to 24, plus the 10 is 34. These add up to 11. I don't know how to do that yet. That one we've done because we've found the outie. Either 3 or 4 cells here are going to add to 16. Don't know. We've done the 8, we've done the 4, we've done the 2. Right. These two sum to 10 in this row. They are a 4-6 pair. That's the sort of thing we need to find. These three add up to 14, and either one or two of these add up to 7. Well, that didn't really help. The remaining digits in box 5 are 5, 7, and 8. That one can't be 8. So one of these is an 8. Now, let's go back to this thing that adds up to 19. It's not very helpful. Okay, what am I missing now? There's a 7 in one of those two cells. For the column, needs a 7. I think there's some Sudoku. Oh, look, there's a 3 there by Sudoku. Can't be in any of those cells because of these 3. Right, what do the outies add up to in this 19 column? 35 minus 19 is 16. The outies add up to 16. One of them's a 3. The other two add up to 13. So they're either 5, 8 or 6, 7. That doesn't really resolve itself. This is harder than I was expecting from this point. There's a 7 in one of those two. 9, 4, 3, 6, 1. There's an 8 over here. That digit's 2 or 5. This is not the right way to do this puzzle. There's a 3 in one of those two. Now these have to add up to 11. So they don't have an 8 in. So the 8 in the box is in one of these two cells, and there's an 8 down here somewhere. They could be 2, 4, 5 or 2, 3, 6. I don't know which is the right solution. Oh, 16 now has the 3 in it. Could it be 4 cells? That would be 2, 3, 4, 7 or 2, 3, 5, 6. Yeah, I think it could. Don't see why not. What about this group that adds to 14? That's a very middling sum. 2, 4, 8 would do it, or lots of middly things, I think. 3, 5, 6. Yeah, I don't know. That's not worth wasting my thoughts over. Wow, I don't actually know how to do any progress at the moment. So let's carry on. Is there a sandwich I've missed? This is either 2, 5 or a 3, 4 pair or a single 7. I mean, that's a lot of optionality. Oh, it's this having to add to 19. Have we narrowed that down at all since I discovered it? Not really. If this was a 4, plus 2 is 6. These two would add up to 13. This would have to be 5 or 8 or 6. What did I start with? If this was a 4, these would add up to 13. If that's a 6, these add up to 11. That would have to be with a 7 here and a 4 here. So if that was a 4 and these added up to 13, and the trouble is they could be 8, 5 either way around. That's not solving the puzzle. Oh, I'm being dense. Okay, there's no 3 there, so there's a 3 down here somewhere. Let's keep doing Sudoku, because that might be the way to get a bit of a handle on this thing. Those add up to 14, and they don't have a 7 in. Okay, I think we're down to either 8, 4, 2 or 6, 5, 3 there. But those are widely differing sets of digits. Six, 12. I'm missing something vital. These add up to 24. Oh yeah, these add up to 11. Can that be a 3? These would be a 2, 6 pair. It's either 2, 3, 6 or 2, 4, 5. There is a 2 in one of those cells. So there is a 2 actually specifically here in this row, because it's ruled out of there, and now we've found it's up there. It can't be here. So everything else in the row is from 5, 7, 8. A combination we've seen here. That 2, 1, 4, 8, 9, 3. That can't be 8. We're looking at 3, 5, 7, 6. So there's a 4 over here somewhere. Hadn't realized that before. Don't know what to do with it. Do you know what I've suddenly thought about? These have to be unique values if they're not zeros. So if the 9s go there and there, we can't replicate values. Is that? I hope I'm not going to have to solve it by considering all the possible values here and making sure they're not. Ooh, what a horrible thought. Oh, look, I've got a 6 there. It's Sudoku. It's simple Sudoku. I bet that's going to get something done. Right. So 6 in one of these cells. Now, come on. Come on, 4. Do something. No, that isn't going to get anything done. 6 in one of these cells. 4 is in one of those. 9, 8, 4, 1. There is also a 2 down here. I hadn't realized that before. These are from 5, 6, 7. These are either 2, 3, 6 or 2, 4, 5. So this pair is either 8, 4 or 8, 3. Interesting. Didn't know before. That digit can't be a 3. Yeah, again, I do feel something is available here. Just going to have to work out what it is. Oh, this 6 contributed to the 19 sum, so these two add up to 11. Well, they're not 5 and 6, and they're not 8 and 3. Oh, it's so straightforward when you finally spot what you need to do. I thought I did well early in the puzzle, and I've done very poorly after that. That's a 5 and 8 pair to complete the column. Now, there's a 6 down here. These are from 4, 5, 7. Oh, 7 is a sort of X-wing there and here. That's going to use up the 7s for rows 1 and 2. So the 7 for row 3 is going to be over here. Doesn't do anything, does it? 9, 4, 1. 6 in one of these. 5 somewhere down here. That 4 is in the 14 sum. These two add up to 10. They're not 4, 6 or 7, 3 or 9, 1. They are 2, 8. That places 8 here. It removes 8 from there and 2 from here. These digits are 3, 5, 6. This one is a naked 3. It sees everything else in its row and column. This is a 5, 6 pair. We've now got a 5, 6, 7 triple. And the bottom two are 2 and 3. And that digit is a 4 in its box. And that means 4 is in this sum, which is now a 2, 4, 5 sum. And that's going to fix all the cells below it in the column. 7 and 6 there, and 3 here, presumably. And that's now a 5. This is a 6. This is 8. This is 3. And 5 is not in that pair. It's a 7, 6 pair because it's down here. Okay, good. We are motoring now. 4 and 7 in these cells. No 7 in these cells. 2, 3, 6 here. And that one can't be 3. Just adjusting my mouse cord, which is trying to trip me up. Right. 2, 8, 7 in this column. That one can't be a 2. One of these must be a 2. That's 2 or 7. 2, 7, 8. Right. Now, this is either a single 7 sandwich or a 4, 3 pair, now impossible, or a 2, 5 pair. If it's a single 7, that's a 2 and that's a 3. If it's a 2, 5 pair, that's a 3 again. So that is definitely a 3. This is 2 and that isn't. Now 2 in this column is here. And now this can't be a 2, 5 or a 4, 3 pair and must be a single 7. And now we know where the 9s are at this incredibly late stage. That is phenomenal as well, by the way, Xenonetics. That's really clever to have that so delayed. I'm still going to have to add these later. I hope if I get lucky, I don't have to add them to determine unique values up here, but we'll see. That is 5 or 6 by Sudoku. was just trying to take the corner marks out. This must all be done. Now, there's a sandwich somewhere that I haven't focused on. This 16. I think that's the one. I think I've done all the other sandwiches. So if that's 16 plus the crust is 26 plus that 8 is 34, these two add up to 11. That eliminates 2 from this cell and places it here. That means there's a 2 in one of these, and that gives us an X-wing with 2s down here. Stops 2 being in column 7 or 8 there and places it here, which is a bit bizarre in its own way, but, you know, whatever. These, again, that's either a 4-7 or a 5-6 pair. That's strange that that's not yet determined, because it felt like it was going to be. Have I missed another sandwich somewhere that I haven't completed? I honestly don't think I have. It's just this 16 one. Okay, in terms of knowing what the numbers are anyway. Now, let's have a look at R. Right, these digits are from 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to think about this one because this column is not allowed to add up to 32 as the sandwich because we already had that in row 1. And that means this single lone outie cannot be a 3. And this can't be a 3 by Sudoku. So we found 3, and I did use the unique values up here. Again, I'm hoping that I don't have to use them again after that. 3 is looking at this cell. Oh, that's so clever. Oh, I'm blown away by this puzzle. It's doing it again and again and again. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Right. Now, can I get away with not doing the calculations again? Or have I just stumbled into the next Xenonetics trap? There is a 4 in one of those cells. What about this? 4, 5, 6, and 7 haven't been placed in this column. Oh, 8 is definitely in one of those. So one of these is an 8. I mean, that's very clear, but not potentially all that helpful. Again, that's either a 4, 7 or a 5, 6 pair. If it was 4, 7, that would be 5. These would be 2, 6. 6 hasn't been placed in this box, and it can be because of those 6s ruling out 6 from all of those. It's just Sudoku. 6 there, 2 there. Now we can add this up. 6, 8, 11, and a 5 makes the right total. 4, 7. Oh, it's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. So clever. That's a 5, that's an 8, that's a 7, that's a 4. This is now 6. Must be able to do all of these. 8, 7, 5. That's now 5. Now that's going to sort out. Now I'm praying that these columns will resolve themselves. 4, 7 pair. That's the only place for 6 in the final column. Yeah, look, they are doing it. So I'll be able to finish off the digits and then add up the columns to check the unique values. There we go. Ah, and it tells me I'm correct at this point because I've got the 9 by 9 correct. I love this puzzle. Now I can add this up, and it's 31, which I actually did by 35 minus 4. And we haven't had 31 before, so that's unique. And this one is that 21? Yes, it is. And that's unique because we haven't had it before. And there is another mathematical phenomenon discovered and solved, and one of my favorite puzzles in recent times. That's absolutely brilliant, Xenonetics. Thank you for sending it. Thank you guys for watching. It's an absolute pleasure to have you with us. And I'm going to see you again soon, I hope. Maybe tomorrow. Oh, and we're streaming on Monday as well. That is tomorrow. So if you watch tomorrow's video by me, if you watch it, I suggest you watch it an hour after it comes out, as soon as we finish streaming at 10 p.m. our time, 5 p.m. Eastern. Bye for now.